is 5 a.m. and today what we're gonna do is we're gonna head out to Seaside, Oregon, and we're gonna do some clamming. So the game plan is to provide a little bit of instruction, kind of like an easy guide on how to clam out here on the coast. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, we'll do a guide to clamming up here near Seaside, Oregon. I'll show you how to clean the clams along with how to cook clam chowder. So it's going to be a pretty sweet video. Thank you so much for tuning in. To all my subscribers, thank you so much. If you haven't already, please click the like button, click subscribe. All right, everyone, stay tuned. We are on our way out to Seaside, and I thought I would briefly go over the tides and how they affect razor clamming out here on the Oregon coast. So first and foremost, what I would definitely recommend doing is prior to heading out to Seaside, you're going to want to Google Seaside, Oregon tide table. That'll take you to the Seaside, Oregon website that actually has the tide tables for the next year. What's really neat about this tide tables are all of the minus tides are highlighted. Why is this important? When it comes to razor clamming, the best time to go out is when the tides are minus or negative. Or the more minus tide that we have, the more beach that we have to explore and find razor clams. So let's take a look at the tide table for today. It looks like peak low tide is going to be at 10:38 a.m. and I believe it's going to be at a negative 1.15 feet. So that's going to be some pretty good conditions for getting us some clams. So what we'll do is we'll get out there, we'll get set up, and we'll try to get us some razor clams. All right, YouTube, we're at Delray Beach, just north of Seaside. Right now I'm briefly going to touch on the gear that I use when I go out clamming. First, we'll talk about the clam gun. So this particular clam gun I picked up at Fisherman Marine and Outdoors. This one's nice. It's about $80. A little spendy, but you're making an investment when you purchase gear. So I'd rather invest in middle of the road equipment just to know that I've got a quality tool that isn't going to fail on me quickly. You can also pick up clam guns at Bi-Mart and also at Sportsman's Warehouse. Next, we'll talk about the clam bag. So basically this is going to be attached to our belt loop. Right here, it's got a little clasp that you can hook up to your belt loop. The law out here in Oregon, according to the ODFW website, is you need to keep what you catch. We have a limit of 15 razor clams that we can keep, so any clams that I catch go directly into this net. Next is a 5-gallon bucket, and that's mainly for transporting the clams when we take off. My preferred method, and you can do it however you want, is I fill up a plastic bag with seawater, tie it off with my clams inside of it, and then on the way out I pick up some ice, throw the ice on top of it. That method has worked pretty well. The clams seem to dispel all of the sand that's inside of them by the time I get home, so they're ready to go and be eaten. So we're out here at the beach. We're a little early, but hey, early bird gets the worm. Let's get out there, let's start walking around and find ourselves some clams. So what we're looking for are shows. So what a show is it's a little donut in the sand or a little hole. So this right here is a show. Hopefully we have a clam under there. Let's get to digging. Be careful, bro. I don't want to break it.
clam of the day. So we're on the search for these little holes or these little donuts. As the tide goes back, we'll find our clams here, and tonight we will make some clam chowder. We don't get clear shows, which is basically the hole that's in the sand. So what you want to do when you've got like a little dimple or it looks like a donut in the sand is you want to stomp next to it, or some people carry a walking stick or a shovel and they slam their shovel into the sand, and if there's a clam in there, sometimes water will squirt out or a little hole will form. So let's get it. Oh, you see that? See how that indented a little bit right there? Let's take a look. There it is. So when we stomped on it, that little dimple formed, and the neck right here, that's what's forming the hole. There are two siphons, one to draw in water and food like algae, and one to expel waste. Also, you've got the foot down here. This portion right here is what the clam uses to dig into the sand. It is absolutely beautiful out here. I love the coast. You can see how much lower the tide is right now. If you look at see all the holes out there? That's where the water started today. And if you look up along the beach, you can see kind of that provides a little line where the tide was at earlier. Pretty sweet. We've got a nice negative tide today, or minus tide, so this has been primo. We're getting way out here. All right, YouTube, we made very quick work of that. Got our clam gun rinsed off. We got all our clams right here. We got a total of 11 clams today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse these off and then fill up a bag full of seawater, and then we're going to go to the gas station, get some ice, throw it on top of them. Then we'll head back to Portland, get our ingredients for our clam chowder, and get to cooking. And of course, we're going to clean these clams first. But all right, stay tuned. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to take one of these razor clams and place it into the boiling water. The reason that we're doing this is to cause the shells to open up and we can easily pull the razor clams out and clean them. So if you watch closely, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it with the steam and the water, but you should see the shell open up as I put this in here. There we go. See the shell popped right open there. All right, now that we've got all of our clams blanched, what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate them from the shells here. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on cleaning these clams. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. You don't even need a knife, you can use a scissors. Even a small little pair of like children's scissors would work for this. The way I've got it set up is we've got our clams right here. I've got this little bin right here that I'm going to use to catch the scraps. The stuff that we don't eat, we're actually going to be using for crab bait. So I've got my bag right here, and we're going to not waste any of the clams. We're going to use all of the insides, the viscera, the guts. We're going to use all of that for crab bait. So let's get us a clam out of here. We'll get a nice big one, just so we can get a good visual. This one right here is a nice size one, so what I'm doing first is I'm kind of just rinsing it off, trying to get any excess sand off of the clam. So we'll kind of briefly go over this. We've got the neck right here, the zipper is right here, and then the foot is down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut up the zipper up to the neck, and the neck has 2 siphons in it. One of the siphons brings water and algae in, and the other one expels waste. We're going to cut through both of the siphons and then come down, remove the gills and the foot along with the rest of the insides. So let's take a look. So first things first is we'll cut right up the zipper. When we get to the top of the zipper, and we'll rinse out the rest of this sand, we'll get up to the neck here, and we'll cut up the first siphon on the neck. And you know, one step that I also forgot to do here is we cut off the tip of the neck right there. And we'll use that as crab bait as well. So we've gone through the first siphon. Now there's another one right here. We'll go through that. So now we'll kind of open it up. Now you're going to see the gills right here. And then here's the foot. And what we'll do is we'll cut right down the gills here. You can even just kind of pull it out, and we'll get it down here. And then we will cut right here. So now you've got clean clam right there. We'll wash a little bit of this sand off. Sometimes it's better to leave them sit overnight. That way they spit out all the sand, but I'm gonna do a catch and cook. I wanna get them cleaned and cooked as quickly as possible. This is as fresh as it gets right here. So there's our clam right there. Now, we've got the digger or the foot. This is what the clam uses to dig with. First thing that we'll do is we'll add to our crab bait here. We'll kind of squeeze all this stuff out. All the guts, the innards, whatever you want to call them. And we'll make a little incision right here on the foot. Open this up. All right, so we've got the foot opened up right here, and we're gonna get all this nasty stuff out of here. Anything brown we don't want. And there's the clean foot. All right, so now that we've got the razor clams cleaned, we are going to prep the rest of the ingredients for the clam chowder. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're actually going to dice up these Yukon Gold potatoes and blanch them in boiling water. We definitely don't want any undercooked potatoes in our clam chowder. We're also going to be adding bacon into our clam chowder as well. That's not out here. It's in the refrigerator, keeping cool with the clams. So let's get all this prepped up so we can just add it in as we go. And I'll check back in once we're ready to throw the potatoes on. All right, so here are all the ingredients prepped and ready to go. We've got some chicken bouillon right here, about 1/3 of a cup of flour. This is about a cup of heavy cream. We've got a large onion diced, 3 celery stalks, and some garlic. We've got about 9 razor clams right here. We have got 4 tablespoons of butter, 3 medium-sized Yukon Gold potatoes. We've got 2.5 cups of chicken stock, some clam juice, 4 slices of thick cut peppered bacon, and then our seasonings that we're going to use are salt, black pepper. We've got 3 bay leaves and some fresh thyme. And then we are also going to add fresh parsley at the end. All right, let's get to cooking. we've got a light little simmer going here. So what we'll do now is we will add our potatoes. So now we're gonna let our potatoes cook here. All right, next we're gonna add just about a cup of heavy cream. Then we're gonna add about 9 of these razor clams that I got today. Add some black pepper. Thyme sprigs and the bay leaves. All right, look at this amazing bowl of clam chowder we got here. I almost forgot the last ingredient here. Some fresh parsley. All right, that's a bowl of chowder right there. Let's try this out. I've got to try this outside. This is what I call perfect clam chowder weather right here. Anybody that's in Oregon knows that we've had a pretty rainy June, but no complaints. Let's see how this do. Oh man, this is out of this world. Amazing. This definitely makes today well worth it. I've got enough chowder to last me 2 weeks. I'm glad I added the extra clams in there. It was between 9 or 10 clams that I put in there. Out of this world.